Welcome back, everyone, to episode 13 of the U.S. series, and we now have a new president in Nick McGolern. So we're going to need a new cabinet, but first, need to tell a few of these areas to evacuate due to the hurricanes. Botswana, what's our relation with them? They don't like us, so we're going to refuse. Yeah, we could go ahead and evacuate Mississippi. Alright. I'm not concerned with animals at this point. Okay, so we're going to need a few refugee camps, which comes from the military.
No responsible person is in place now. Advisors and high officials need a cap.
Alright, so need to at least replace that person. Let's go with Jack Casper. Alright, so we see they're pretty close there. So we're going to place it right about there. And another group. We'll put that right there. Alright, so we're just going to stick with two, and they can go to either one. Let's go to our cabinet. Alright, so for vice president, alright, so governors still don't like me at this point. And let's go to the most popular person for our vice president. Let's go with him. Homeland Security. Okay. Still can't go to the governors yet. We'll go with this guy. Economy. Justice, education. We'll pick a woman for that. Employment. We'll go with this guy here. Alright, what's the next one? Health. We'll go with him. Agriculture. Don't we have somebody who looks... Yeah, it's the same model. And we'll go with this guy. And energy. Alright, so transportation. Let's go with her. And housing. Who else is left? We'll go with this guy here. Alright, so our cabinet's complete. Now we're going to do some reallocation with the funds. So aluminum, we'll keep that as is. So, auto industry. I'm going to reduce that to 1 billion. Building and housing. Yeah, take that away completely. Computer hardware. So production actually went down with this, so we're just going to eliminate that altogether. Copper. Alright, so 1.5 billion for that. Electronic components. So we are producing more. Probably going to go back to that. Gold is up. Infantry armaments, that's up. Missiles. And that's definitely up. With only 1 billion. Let's not increase it by that much. Let's do 1.5 billion. See what that goes up to. Alright, steel. Went up a little bit, but how much are we investing? 2 billion. Alright, so let's look at agriculture. That hasn't gone up that much. What are we investing? 1.3 billion. Alright, cereals. Cereals is something we actually need more of. So, let's take this away from beef, and we're going to place, so 3.3 billion in cereals. All right, coffee, 2 billion. May come back to that. Oranges. That actually went down. Bridges is something that we do need, so let's bump that up to 500 million. Sugar went up a little bit, and that's with 500 million, so we're going to bump that up to 1 billion. Vegetables. Now that's something we really do need. Let's try to double that. Let's see what happens. Alright, so lumber. That's actually something we need as well. Let's make that 1.5 billion. See if that actually goes up any. And then water networks. Alright, so we have plenty. Other thing is fuel. We don't have enough fuel at all. We have a lot of oil. And we're the highest oil producer in the world. Still want to build more oil. Or build more oil wells, I mean. So let's exonerate fuel. See if that helps us produce more.
The preparations are complete. The whole country is preparing to joyfully celebrate this occasion.
Alright, so we're going to reevaluate our foreign policy. So what soldiers, how many soldiers do we have? Alright, so Kosovo, we're bringing everyone back home. They're on their own. Might as well prepare for leaving NATO. So we're going to pull another 30,000 troops out of Germany. Iceland, Cuba, Belgium, Bahrain. Alright, Italy, we'll keep what we have there. Oh, Japan is not NATO. We'll keep them there. Alright, Spain. Let's bring back about 1,000 troops.
Seven, six, five, four, three, two, one, zero. Ignition.
Alright, unfavorable regime in Uruguay. Alright, let's go to aid. Alright. Alright, so we're cutting a lot of aid. Want to make investments in our own country first. We'll let these guys. Actually, let's take a look at Vietnam. Vietnam produces a lot of goods, so may leave that. Alright, so these are all the other countries complaining that I cut aid.
One of our drones has detected camouflaged enemy units that we have listed on our...
Our agents that have infiltrated this organization confirm their window of opportunity. It goes without saying that the operation is risky.
Alright, we'll take our chances. Alright, so India, we have better relations with them. So let's try to take advantage of the moment. Let's see, are they part of any of this? No, not part of that. And it's just Indonesia, so let's do a free trade agreement with India. India is starting to take over, producing a lot of goods. So we want to take advantage of that opportunity. So so what this means is, as far as organizations to leave, I'm actually going to leave NATO. And I'm going to go ahead and do that while I still have a pretty good approval rating. So that's not good. That shouldn't interfere with my relations with India. Fortunately, it's going to affect everything else. With we had a strong relation with Turkey. But the reason why I'm doing that is if I leave the World Health Organization, that's going to interfere with my relationship with India. And not ready to do that yet.
The population affected by the disaster is in a very precarious situation. must have lost a lot and even everything and are asking the state for help to survive. So tell me,
44.5
what-
billion. That's gonna really hurt us. No, you can't resign. Just gonna have to tough it out. Alright, so let's look at inflation. We need to have that go down more. So what is the next thing we're gonna have to cut? Or should we raise taxes? Oh, so they're kicking me out of Germany and Iceland. Okay, we'll do that. Alright, so let's do a full retreat from Germany. And the same with Iceland. So we'll go ahead and comply.
Our last soldiers have handed over to local forces and are on their way back.
Alright, let's dismantle that base there. And didn't get there in time. Alright, so India accepted our free trade agreement.
You were elected thanks to your speeches, but only action will keep you in power. This country awaits your initiative. You direct the boat.
Sharing this moment of intense spirituality with the faithful gives me great joy. On this holy day, I thank all of our communities across the country, both those in cities as well as those in small, remote villages, who are all coming together in prayer.
Alright, so let's do something here. Alright, so Italy is neutral against us now. Let's make sure we keep a good relationship with them, so let's lower the tariffs. Let's go with farming. And alright, so let's drop that to 35 as well. And service, we'll do the same thing. Put it at about 30. So what I believe is going to happen is some of these countries are going to start to kind of get over it. So they're all pretty angry at me for now, but that's going to improve over time, so I'm not really worried about it.
Our agents that have infiltrated this organization confirm their window of opportunity. It goes without saying that the operation is
Okay, we'll go ahead and do that. Alright, let's manage our networks here. Let's go ahead and put the other agents in Iran.
This theory is undeniably gaining popularity on social media.
Alright, so let's go ahead and address that real quick.
According to their analysis, our services believe that this conspiracy theory no longer interests the population.
As I predicted, the systematic analysis of the habits of small groups has allowed us to strike a serious blow at the terrorists. We can now state with certainty that we have entered into a Najaf cycle.
Right, so we took out 30% of the terrorist groups in Somalia. Okay, CO2 emissions increasing. Alright, so let's do another 1,000. Alright, we're gonna refuse there.
Our governmental cell informs me that it has had the opportunity to approach this potential informer. According to my calculations, using transactional analysis, Chicago
Wish to pursue. Alright, no. I'm gonna refuse. Alright, so let's check our debt. And we have 15 billion in our Treasury Reserve.
The preparations are complete. The whole country is preparing to joyfully celebrate this occasion.
And we're almost at the end of the fourth quarter. Alright, so we have good relations with Somalia now. So I may actually go ahead and... Alright. So what am I dealing with total jihad? So they only have 831 armed extremists. They have 20 mercenaries and 25 armed pickups.
The preparations are complete. The whole country is prepared.
It's awful. No, it's not a suicide. There's no doubt about that. But a terrible assassination. Yes, the journalists are already there.
Alright, so who was just assassinated? Alright, let's see what our growth is. Growth is actually pretty good.
Whether it's personal problems or overwork, something's wrong. But I can't manage to get my head around it. You are tactful. Maybe you should have a word with him.
Alright, let's check our health. Our health is not that good. So let's go with meeting our doctor. I'll meet with him on the 1st. Trying to improve our health. So let's see, how old is he? 82. Alright, let's look at our industry. Need to do something to improve our trade balance. Alright, Syria, we are not on good terms, so we're going to refuse.
Well then, there's something nasty, hmm? Right. I'm going to prescribe 2 packets of tablets. They also exist in capsule form, but considering your job, take 2 in the morning, 3 in the evening. No alcohol, of course. And most importantly, lots of green veg and watch out for salt. A little less than a little. Of course, fruit. And watch your sugar intake too. Okay, take care of yourself.
I'm not going to make a comment on that.
Our last soldiers have handed over to local forces and are on their way back. All our bases have been abandoned. This historic day marks the end of our military presence in this country. There you go. From our side, our only concern now is that our diplomatic and economic relations will be fruitful in the future. Our last soldiers have
Alright, so has anything improved with Germany? No, they actually still hate us. But a few of the other countries are starting to soften up some. Alright, so let's look at Turkey. So let's lower everything.
Astronauts have once again trod on lunar soil. A great feeling for all of mankind, perhaps even more so for those old enough to have already seen it happen in 1969. The team predicts many more missions, including a detour to the Sea of Tranquility, the landing site for Apollo 11. The international community unanimously has praised this achievement, which is the result of years of work by our scientific teams. A great success for space research.
Alright, so let's make this 30%. Let's go with farming. Let's do the same thing. See how things go. Alright, so we have a really strong relationship with Iraq now. They actually have a surplus too, but their inflation is horrible. So is unemployment.
Sharing this moment of intense spirituality with the faithful gives me great joy. On this holy day, I thank all of our communities across the country, both those in cities as well as those in small, remote villages, who are all coming together in prayer.
No, we're not gonna try to take him out. Alright, let's look at our military. So how much is that gonna cost us?
The investigation on the ground into the attack, and the information that is feeding back from our different networks, leads us to the conclusion that this terrorist organization is indeed behind the attack. The fact that they haven't claimed responsibility for the attack is somewhat disturbing.
Okay, how much are we bringing in? So, 261 billion from India. All right. Let's do let's do 25% for cars with South Korea.
Impeccable, sir. You're in perfect form.
Alright, let's check our health again. 85. Okay, so we're doing a lot better than we were. Alright, so we're on good terms with them.
Our infiltrated agents had the chance to carry out a sabotage operation. A sort of Bulgarian opening, if you'll allow me the analogy.
We'll go ahead and take our chances. Alright, so we're at 4.59%. Let's check inflation. 3.52. And we have a $70 billion surplus. Alright, unemployment is at 2%, so that is too strong. And education, we're going to so we'll increase this next quarter. And we'll start building up some more schools. And we're going to readjust some of the taxes. Especially the wealth tax.
Sharing this moment of intense spirituality with the faithful.
Alright, so our relation with Turkey has improved. Alright, so Democrats have the majority in the House and the Senate. So we're going to have a hard time passing some bills.
The terrorist organization has nodded off. This is the least you can say, and since we're doing nothing to wake them, the situation does not risk evolving, which...
Alright, so we're going to need some more military equipment. So we're going to have to... Definitely going to have to build more tanks. Let's see how many we can produce all at once. 124. Alright, let's go back to the US, and I think we have... Yeah, we still have some units that I never sent back to headquarters, which is probably why I still keep getting warmongering. Yep. Send them back. Send them back. Alright, so hopefully I'll stop getting hit with warmongering, where I haven't been involved in a conflict in a couple months now.
Our agents had to abort.
Alright, we're not the first.
Impeccable, sir. You're in perfect form.
Alright, let's check our health again. We're at 100, so that's a lot better.
Good news. Our financial performance in the last quarter shows a cash surplus. This will help us reduce our debt service. Let's keep it up.
Alright, so that's really good.
Here are the GDP and growth figures for the last year. As you know, these are the most important economic indicators and the most revealing of the health of our economy.
The terrorist organization has nodded off.
Alright, so let's check Inflation, that's still pretty much unchanged. We have $409 billion in our Treasury Reserve. And we're finally starting to pay down some of this public debt. So we're at 30.4 trillion. We're now at 30 trillion. So 2025 we'll probably pay this down by, not sure how significant, but we will pay that down. And I think I'm going to end this episode. So thank you for the support, and I will see you soon.